Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. Tonight I'm going to do a flip cup. So I just want to do something a bit simple and easy. Just going to use a couple of colours and not go too crazy with it all. Okay, cool. So I've got magenta, these are mont. I've got magenta, I've got phthalo blue and white and another white. And I am going to use my helmars silicone oil. So I'm going to put 3 drops in each. Wow. So there's 3 drops in each part. There's probably about 6 drops in that one white. It went a little bit crazy on me. So this is the helmars silicone oil that I use. And I'm going to stir this in really well. I prefer my silicone to be stirred in extra well when I do my flip cups. It's just how I prefer it. If you want to stir it in less, that's absolutely fine. Usually this gives me smaller cells but more of them, and I think there's less chance of getting big blobs of silicone all in one spot. This one I'm stirring in extra good because of that extra drops that fell in. And so they were mixed. The phthalo blue was mixed about 1:1. The whites were mixed about 1 part paint to 1 1/4 parts pouring medium. And the magenta was mixed about 1 part paint to 1 1/2 parts pouring medium. So the magenta was just a lot thicker, and I had to just keep adding a little bit more and more until I got the right consistency. And both of my whites are not exactly the same consistency. I can't get them exactly right. And my pouring medium is 70% Elmer's clear glue and 30% water, which is just this one here. And I am going to start, I'm going to start with a white. So I'm just going to put a bit of white in the bottom. Then I might go the blue. And try and layer it and not do it as a dirty. I might put a bit more in. Try and layer it this time. So I'm hoping to have the white give me different shades of blues. So I'm having a little bit of trouble holding my cups tonight. That sank a little bit more than I was planning. So one thing I always find when I do these, my first cup always gets more than my last cup. So I'm going to swap it around. So hopefully it evens itself out. It always happens when I do flip cups or anything in the cups. For some reason I always end up getting heavier handed in the first cup than I do in the second and third. Yeah, so by mixing the white in between the other colours, it should give me different shades of pink and different shades of blue. So there will be some parts of it that will be heavy and some parts light. I'm going to save a little bit of white because I want to use some for the top. And yeah, so this is just a simple one, but sometimes the simple ones actually turn out pretty good. I did more complex ones recently, but I found I got the colours blended a little bit more than I preferred. So I thought this way here, can't really blend a lot, having just a few colours, and even if pink and blue blend, I'm going to get purple, which who doesn't like purple? But I don't think I will get much purple. I think it's going to stay blues and pinks. I don't have a lot of white left, so I'm going to have to go a little bit more sparingly on it. Now I'm getting paint all over my hands. So as you can see, I probably put more, I was a little bit heavier handed with my first pour of the colours, which meant I didn't have as much for the second layer. That's another little habit I haven't quite figured out. I tend to accidentally go heavier handed the first colour round and then it eases off. But it's not something you have to have perfectly even. Excellent. So there's, and I didn't bother spraying my cups with silicone this time. Kind of just wanted to see if I get slightly different results by not having the silicone sprayed in the cups. So this is a 16 by 12 canvas, and it's probably close to 600 mils of paint here, or 600 grams. So I always put the one that's a little bit shorter in the middle. So now I'm just going to flip. Okay. So I really hope these give me nice colours. I'm really wanting to get nice blues and pinks. So I always just leave them for a little bit, but pardon me. So this should look good. I don't know how the cells are going to work out, whether I'm going to have too many, not enough, or whichever way it decides it's going to go. But it should look good either way with the colours that I've got. Just going to put this here. I keep keeping it on the floor, and I pick up dust or bits of like clothing where the little bits that come off your clothing. I don't know what it's called. It's been a long day. Alright, this has been long enough. So, here we go. Yep, so I'm getting pinks. There is actually getting some purples. They are blending enough to give me some purple. And these cups look awesome. Okay, last one. That wasn't the best tip. Okay, get this cup out of the way. I got to start tilting because I'm going to lose my paint the way that I accidentally did that. So I'm just going to come down towards me. And see how the bottom two edges kind of come out more blues. And I got more pink on this one closest in the middle. But hopefully that will actually change. So there's a reasonable amount of paint on this. Over the corner. Come back down a little bit. Over that corner. Come back. So I slightly made my line not in the middle then by doing what I did, but that should be okay. So I'm probably going to have to tilt this again once I spray torch it. So I'm just going to make sure my corners have got paint on them. Most of the corner did, it's just that little bit at the bottom that didn't. So I can definitely see there's colours underneath there. So this should look good. Should. Must have got a little bit closer there than I planned. I think I'm getting a bit low on gas. You can hear it getting lower. Oops, I got close there. It's a little bit hard now that it's gotten low, because I've got to get closer to it without overdoing it. Yeah, it's just about empty. So I'm just checking little spots that I think could do with a couple more, but I'm literally about to run out of gas. Yep, I'm out of gas. So that's as many cells as I'm going to get. So they are kind of in clusters. But I actually thinking it's quite cool. So it's just sometimes when I get a little bit close, they end up coming up in a cluster instead of being more spaced out evenly. But there was not enough gas in the blowtorch for me to do it properly, so I had to kind of get closer. I got another gas bottle, but I have to... Oh, they're up there. But I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to leave this as it is. So we do have some nice lines. Like bluey on this side, bluey on that side, kind of pinky in the middle, and then you've got all the different cells come up. So by using the phthalo blue and the white, I have got all these different shades of blue coming through, and the magenta with the white is giving me this soft pink through here. It's giving me darker magenta in some of the cells, a couple of the lines. There's not a lot of purple. I got a little bit of purple in a line where the colours must have mixed, but I didn't really get purple in the cells, which is kind of good. I don't really need more purple paintings because I use it so much. But this is pretty cool. So I'm actually liking it. There's only one thing in it that I'm not as keen on, is that one cell right there. He looks muddy. But if there's only one cell in it that I'm not as pleased with, then that's not the end of the world. That's just something that you just go, all right then, we'll just deal with that. Now, I don't know where I put my palette knife. I had it right here. I think I know what I might have done with it. I think it's underneath my lid. Because there was no other spot that I would have put it. That's making it a bit hard for me. Can I see it under there? No, I cannot. Oh, what have I done? I tied it up and I put it somewhere. It's probably over at the sink getting washed. So I'll come down and show you, and then I'll have to go back. Actually, I'll just use a pop stick to scrape the bottom for now, just so I know I've done it at least once. So that's what, you don't always have to use an actual palette knife. You can just use a pop stick to scrape the edges. I just don't want these cells to stretch out anymore. Not the ones that are on the edges, because they'll just get too... They'll look a little bit too funny if they're too stretched. So that's it for the moment. I will bring you down and show you a close-up, and then I'll probably do another scrape of this in about 5 more minutes afterwards. Excellent. I'm really happy with the way these cells have turned out. I think this one's actually, I'm quite pleased with it. Oh, finally. I've had a couple of flip cups lately that haven't really been my favourites. So we'll come down and have a look a bit closer. So there's my cells, which are different colours. So sometimes going back to basics, which is just 2 colours with white or with black, you can get the different shades that you want. So this one I didn't bother adding black in, but if you wanted to, you would get slightly different colours again. So you get some that darken up. This side's really cool there. There's that cell I'm not 100% pleased with, but that's okay. There's too many other pretty ones not to worry about him. And they've got these lines. So these lines have stayed quite solid. But that's okay, because they give another dimension to the painting. So, this is what we have. I hope you enjoyed it. subscribe, like, share, leave comments, tell me what you think. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.